So what's going on, guys? It is Thursday. I've got kind of a uneventful day. I had some other stuff going on today, some work that I had to do, and so I was kind of not watching the market for a good chunk of the day. But I'll go through here my trades of today, and today is kind of a bummer because it had potential to be like a nice green day, and I kind of blew it, honestly. So Tesla was the first trade that I took, and this was one that pre-market, I was looking at for, pure, simple continuation. It had a really nice green day yesterday, gapping up from there, pre-market, and, just looking for the gap and go on this. And it dipped down off the open, which was something that I liked and I was looking for. And then I punched the buy button kind of as it was coming down. I just like, all right, I'm going to get in it because I still think it's going to be green today. And so I'm going to buy it. So here I tried it. I guess I did try it off the open here, but then I ultimately stopped out of it very quickly for like a $20 loss. And then here I got in again, just preemptively getting into it because I thought something like this would happen. And then a couple minutes later that did happen. And then taking profits all along the way as it moved higher. And it did move a lot higher, but I didn't like how it was such a steady, and Tesla does this. This is pretty typical how it moves like that. It takes a long time, but it makes these big moves kind of throughout the day. So anyway, so this was like a $400 trade here, and that was great. I wish I had taken more shares on it. That would have been awesome. But then as the day went on, I kind of blew it. So on NVIDIA, you'll notice here again, I did like the same thing I did on it yesterday, which was I went short on it off the open as I kind of did yesterday. And it dipped down. It went in my favor, and I took profit on it. But then it popped back up. And then here it came back down again. I had another opportunity to take profit on it, but really I was looking for it to make a lower low. I was looking for it to come down to this green line here at 66. But that didn't happen. It popped up. It came all the way back down. I took more profit on it. And then as it popped back up, I took more profit on it. So this whole trade I was green on this like $160. But I could have been more like 300 if I got everything out down here. But this was like a $160 trade, so that was good. So at that point in the day, I was like up 400 on Tesla, up 160 on NVIDIA. So I was up like $560 or something like that. But then I blew it, and I went and I traded AMC, and I said I'm just gonna get into this because I think we're gonna see it above VWAP at some point today, and I think it can go. But I just got into it, and that was a mistake because I didn't really see the setup on it that was kind of forming. And when I say setup, look what it's doing, and this is really interesting to look at. But you look at this chart down here. This is a 30-minute chart, and you can see it. I'm gonna go to an hourly actually. And you can see it even maybe more clearly this way. But you can see it really is kind of forming a head and shoulders here across many, many days. So this is something to watch out for. And, it's not like this means it's going to crash tomorrow. I'm just saying, to me, this kind of looks like a classic head and shoulders setup where, typically that's a bearish indication. So anyway, there's that. But it did hold up decently well today. But once I saw that, I was a little bit like, oops, I don't know. But what's even more interesting is that there are head and shoulders within the head and shoulders. So this is the left shoulder of, there's this head and shoulders, and this is the left shoulder. But notice here that this is kind of a head and shoulders too. And then you look at the head, this is a head and shoulders too. And that one, it dropped. Here, it dropped. And now here we've got a head and shoulders kind of here as well. You see the left shoulder, the head, and then kind of here another shoulder. And tomorrow, who knows? It could go down. So anyway, once I kind of noticed that, I was like, ooh, I think this trade was a mistake. But this was a bummer. I averaged down on it 100 shares. It came down a little lower, then started to bounce. Up here it wasn't so bad. And then ultimately I ended up cutting the position for, a $270 loss, which, sucked. But the reason I did that is because it came down and I thought it was breaking the trend line here. This candle came down very sharply, and then it looked like it was continuing. I was like, all right, I don't have the patience for this anymore, and I just got out of it. It did break the trend line, but then look at that. Right afterwards, just a pure uptrend, basically started 10 minutes after I got out, and it came back up to 57.20. My break even was 56.90, so right at VWAP. Anyway, so it could have been a green trade. I mean, that's definitely a big what if. I definitely would have gotten out break even probably. But anyway, it's a bummer that I took a big loss, or not a big loss, but I gave back like half my profit of the day on AMC here. Then I had a trade on, I kind of stopped trading for a bit. Then I came back in the afternoon and I saw Nvidia and I shorted it again. Don't ask me why. Again, this is why the title of this video is Being Bored is Good. Being bored is good. If you're bored and you don't find the setups, don't take the trades, right? So that was a mistake I made today. Was literally, I think most of the reason I took this trade because I was bored. I wanted to be in a trade, and that's not smart. That's clearly not smart. So Nvidia had this big sell-off, and I think maybe I was a little jealous or a little like, dang it, because I was short here at 771. It came down to 763. Had this big move to the downside that I missed. And so I wanted to short it. It bounced. And typically when you see such a V-shaped recovery on this is a bullish sign. It can continue higher for a bit. And I knew that. I just, my judgment was impaired. I was bored. I wanted to be in a trade. I shorted it here thinking, oh, it's going to pull back, at least a little bit. And even if it makes a higher low here and continues, that's okay. I'll still make money on it. But that didn't end up happening. It just kind of continued higher. And, the shame of it, again, is that I cut my short. You can see that I got a partial fill here at break even, but then here it continued higher. I lost my patience on it. I said to myself, this is setting up for, it's just coiling up for that VWAP move. It's coming. And just, of course, minutes after I get out, it actually dipped back below my break even price, which would put me in the money. And then actually, if I'd been even more patient, it comes down even further. Whatever. So, okay, this is where I'm starting to lose control, starting to unwind, get back profits. I turned to GME. I got into this one here at 214. I was in the money on it, $100, and then I let it go against me because I got greedy. I thought it was going to start uptrending. It came up to this pivot here and then made a higher low and looked like it wanted to continue, but unfortunately it stopped and then came back down. Hey Gary, how's it going, man? You're on your camping trip, right? But what's really interesting about this is on the 1 minute chart, this line that's here, this purple line, this is a line that I've had here for a long time. I mean, this was a line I put in when it was creating this kind of triangle here. So this has been here, this uptrend's been here a really long time. And what's interesting is how it really finds support there just exactly. And that just shows you that these technicals aren't any joke, man. Like these are real levels, and this is a real rising support line that held. And anyway, so that's interesting to it's interesting to me that it really came down, touched that, and then bounced. And I wish the market had been open for like 30 minutes more or an hour more. I really think it would have bounced harder off this level and brought me back to break even for sure. But in after hours, I just didn't have the patience. I got out 213.33. So it's interesting that it shows these candles down here at 213 when I got out 213.33, which is actually more like right here. But you can see now the ask is 214. So, if I'd been a little bit more patient, maybe I would have gotten break even. But I only lost $70 on it, so not so bad. All right, so my last trade that I had is here on Orphazyme. And I'm not really sure what to do on this. This is one that I saw. I'll kind of work through what I'm thinking about on this one. And this is obviously the one that went from like $5 to $77. It had crazy news out on it. Then it definitely, it gave all that back the next day. And then had this kind of dead cat bounce. And since then, it's really tough to see on this daily chart, but it actually came back down to like that $5 spot. So almost like it double bottomed, because here it's like at $5. So it came all the way down, and then it bounced again. It had this kind of bounce right here, went from 6 up to $9, and then today it kind of is hovering above that 50-period moving average, which I suspect maybe is going to act as support, and tomorrow we get a gap up on it, you know, and the target becomes maybe the high from this day here, $24. I don't know, but all I know is that this has a lot, it seems like right now that it has a lot more room to the upside than to the downside. And this is a small cap stock. I don't typically trade those, blah, 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 but I'm thinking about swinging this one, holding this position until tomorrow. And I don't know if that's smart or not, but I kind of like the setup on it. And what I particularly like is this kind of 1 hour chart. Actually, it's even better on a 30-minute chart. But if you look at this here, it's really interesting how this one is trading. And it had this big surge to $24, then came down, then had this huge gap. There's this huge gap here, big gap from $5 to $15, basically a $10 gap. It came up, tried to fill that gap, didn't make too much progress, and then came down, 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 down until it kind of double bottomed at this spot right here, and then boom, it popped back up, and it kind of stopped at this 200 moving average, and now is kind of hovering under that spot. And to me right now, it just looks like the setup on it right here in the last few days, here's the pull, and here's the flag. So, you know, to me, it's kind of a bullish looking setup, and it looks like tomorrow we might get the breakout, but it is a little bit, you know, I don't know, because if it gaps down to $7, I'm going to be down $1,000 because I have 1,000 shares. I don't want to be down $1,000. But on the other hand, I feel like it might be a good risk-reward trade because I don't think it's going to gap down to $6 or $5. That would be strange to me. And I think that there's a decent chance it gaps up, and in pre-market it can do a lot of damage, I think, and during the day as well. I just think it might have more upside than downside. It touched $77. Obviously, I don't think it's going to get back to $77 tomorrow, but even just a move to $12 or $10, $12, $14, $20. I mean, you know, if it goes to $20, I make $12,000. You know, I don't think it's going to do that. But all I'm saying is it went from 5 to 77, and then on this day it did a really interesting thing. It did that dead cat bounce, and now I'm just thinking, you know, could we get another kind of dead cat bounce? The dead cat bounce of the dead cat bounce, right? So here's the move, here's the dead cat bounce, and then here's the dead cat bounce of the dead cat bounce. all I'm thinking is that maybe we get a small gap up tomorrow, maybe $9, and that's all we get. But even then, I make $1,000. You know, so all I'm thinking is it has maybe more room to upside than downside. So I'm thinking about keeping it on is the point. I think it looks bullish. Now, 1,000 shares, I don't know. That could be a little risky, but I think I'm going to do it. Sometimes you got to put the risk on the table. The most I can lose on this trade is $8,000, which is a lot of money. That's a lot of money. If this company goes bankrupt tomorrow, I lose $8,000. But wow, 1K size. Good luck on the swing. I mean, I want to do it, man. I want to do it. I know it is big size. I know, definitely. But I just think it has more upside than downside. The only thing is it did put in a red day today, but I like how it tested that 50 support, kind of bounced off it, and I really like this basing that happened here, right? It came up, it completed the uptrend here, then it had this pullback, and now it's just based out at this spot, and now it's all of a sudden looking like it wants to explode. I don't know, that's what it looks like to me. I could be wrong, but I kind of want to swing it, and I think I'm going to do it. So So if I do that, then my profit will be a little bit changed on the day. I did have a trade on Palantir, and this really upset me actually because I don't know. Palantir is one that I'm swinging anyway with 400 shares. But the problem is I took this trade on it during the day. I bought 2,000 shares into VWAP on this dip and made 3 cents on 2,000 shares at $60. But it messed up my swing numbers here. This is wrong. It recycled the 400 shares. So anyway. So you're in 1K shares or none. Maybe take small. What's up with all the emojis? Hyper Viper. What the heck? So you're in 1K or maybe take small size. Yeah, you know what? I'm kind of okay with the risk, honestly. I know it is risky, kind of. I know there is risk here, but I'm kind of okay with it. And if you're okay with the risk, I think it's, I don't know. I think it's okay. But yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to swing 1,000 shares of Orphazyme into tomorrow. Maybe it's batshit crazy. Honestly, it could be. It could be batshit crazy. But I like this setup, man. I like this setup. That's all I can say. I like the stock. I like the stock. I don't know. Maybe it's stupid. Maybe you guys are right. Now you guys got me second guessing myself. No, I like the setup. I think it looks good. And yeah, I mean, maybe I should do only 500 shares. That could be smart. Could be smart. But with 500 shares, my profit potential is cut in half, But my risk is cut in half too. So, yeah. I'm just looking at this 30-minute chart, and I really think it looks pretty good to me. There's obvious resistance here at $9. That's clear. Those are a lot of dead cats bouncing around for sure. For sure, my guy, for sure. This is clear support at $9. That is a little bit troubling, but I think it can break pretty easily. I mean, I don't, but here's that resistance. You can see it's support here, and then as it gapped down, it tested it, failed, came down, based out, tested again, failed, tested again this morning and failed. I mean, you keep testing a level, it's going to break. 9 lives cat bounce play. I'm with it, man. I'm with it. I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of, drawing it out. You got the flag here. And, yeah, this $9 level, man. This $9 level is tough. I don't know. I mean, here's the thing. If I swing this, it's a swing trade, and it's not going to be included in my P&Ls or my day trading P&L. And my day trading journey, I'm very strict about only including day trades. So if I choose to swing this into tomorrow, I will not be counting it. No matter a gain or loss, I will not be counting it in my day trading, because I only count day trades. I don't count the swings. So, all right. Anyway, guys, that's the recap for today. I'll let you know what I do, and yeah, be in the Discord tomorrow morning, guys. Be there, be square. And we're gonna be trading, and we're gonna be having fun with it, and yeah, that's it, guys. Like, subscribe, join the Discord, all that good stuff, and I will see you guys tomorrow. All right, bye bye, guys.